Hello everyone, I am BP31 here bringing you Task 1 of Season 2 of Standard Tasks. right now we're starting off in the Cascade Kingdom. Order of objectives is first you gotta warp to a checkpoint, then in any order capture a Chomp, roll over 2 rocks, and open 2 cloud platforms. So the most obvious checkpoint to use for this one was, in my opinion, Stone Bridge, because it's right in the middle of all the action in Cascade. You get the chain Chomp right there. If you know the kingdom really well, you know there's rocks right there, but a quick exploration will get you to that point anyway. And there's also those 2 cloud platforms just right there, ready to be opened. So this route wasn't too hard to find, but there were some other ones. They could throw you off with the top checkpoints, but those are pretty quick to overlook if you just looked a little bit closely and timed a couple of runs. But unfortunately, a few people missed that. Hats off to them for doing well with their other route, but this was most clearly the best route for this task. So the top 4, we got 3 familiar faces and 1 complete newcomer, Dude Imperfect. This guy, this is the first task he's ever submit, and he's getting second right off the bat, so hats off to him. But the other top 4, we got Eagle Gamer, Zivler, and Roller Coaster Maniac. RCM getting second in the first season of these standard tasks. So again, in the top 4, he's not missed top 4 in a single one of these tasks to date. So see if he can keep it going through this. But now discussing a few of the things that separated the top 4 and from the rest of the entrants. So most obviously, it's the checkpoint usage. This was definitely the dominating checkpoint, and any other checkpoint that was used, again, the only other one was the top checkpoint, ended up doing a lot worse. But I'd like to showcase the best run from that checkpoint by Nfs Carbon. So he's got some pretty slick movement here, doing a nice spin pound. This is actually probably one of the fastest spin pounds I saw in this series. Not great overall, no fault of anyone, but yeah, just quickly spin pounding, then rolling over to drop down, hit the cloud platforms, and basically doing the objectives in reverse to what everyone else did. So very precisely dropping right between these 2 ribs, and then getting the double cloud open with a single hit, and rolling over the rocks and spin throwing the chain Chomp. That spin throw is actually really nice. If you look, it barely is able to touch him, so it took the straightest line possible to the chain Chomp. So very well done to Carbon, but unfortunately didn't choose the right route. Going back to the top 4, another thing you might notice is Roller Coaster Maniac has that rock slightly in the way of his path when he's doing this task. So for those who don't know, you can actually break that rock with the T-Rex or with the big chain Chomp, whatever you prefer, and then it will not respawn whenever you warp to a checkpoint. So the rest of the top 3 was able to notice this, and a few other people did as well, but RCM, working around that rock really well, was still able to clinch the top 4 with it, so that's pretty impressive. So then the most decisive factor, aside from that, was the ending strat. As you can see, Eagle Gamer does a really nice spin through a roll cancel towards the end. We'll get to it in just a second, but basically that was by far the most effective way to end the task, even though the other ways to open both of them at the same time were quite good. But as you can see right there, just spin through a roll canceling very nicely and hitting both of the clouds with one shot. Saved a ton of time over Dude Imperfect. So looking at Dude Imperfect's next go around, he hits the chain Chomp just slightly after Eagle Gamer. However, this dive is beautiful. Like, you could not have hit the ground any sooner after that dive. That was practically perfect, a perfect insta dive. So very nice to him. Eagle Gamer was a little bit slower, but still, that ending strat was able to save just enough to beat him out by just a little bit. Zivler and RCM did variants of a different strat. Actually, no, sorry. I believe RCM did the same thing as Dude Imperfect. Let me just watch this for a sec. Yeah, Zivler did a really quick spin throw into the first cloud platform, then jumped up and did a second one that got it very quickly. RCM also did a similar strat to Eagle Gamer, actually, but he roll canceled beforehand, so it ended up being more like Dude Imperfect's. So not quite as fast. That and the rock ended up getting him 4th instead of 1st or 2nd. And also the dive on Eagle Gamer and Dude Imperfect's were notably better than the other 2, but again, Dude Imperfect, just very good movement after the chain Chomp. So other than that, we got a lot of support going into the series, a lot more than I expected. We didn't advertise this as much, and there's likely not going to be any support from GSA on this, so getting this many submissions in our very first go-around is very, very, I really appreciate it. A lot of work goes into this. Really big thanks to legomariofanatic for doing a lot of work on this results video. Huge thanks to everyone for participating, and huge thanks to Monster Druid for making these tasks with Lego Mario. So it takes a lot of work to make this stuff happen, so we appreciate all of you. And yeah.